Three, two, one, action. Well, he's been on the podcast before, and if you follow him on Twitter, it'll be no surprise why we asked him back. He has starred in dozens of professional adult videos, and joining us today is real-life mattress actress, the one and only Cory Kane from Cocky Boys. Hi, Cory.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Well, you know,
As good as you can.
We're virus free. Yeah, you've got the right idea. Take a sip. That's all we can do. Cory, thank you for coming back on the podcast and rearranging your schedule, because originally we were not going to record today. Why don't you tell everybody why we had to reschedule?
Because I had a cam show. Well, I'm gonna be having a cam show on Sunday, so looking forward to that too. Which I haven't been doing all that much lately, so it's good to get back into it.
Are you going to start doing it a little bit more often now?
Yeah, that's what they're kind of, I think all the studios are kind of working in that direction right now, just to keep everybody safe, obviously.
Right. And also to keep you sane. I can't imagine cutting cold turkey like that for you.
Yeah.
Jeez, Jesse and I haven't had sex in years and we're freaking out.
Not years. Let's not go that far.
I have not gone this long without sex. I think it's been like 45 days now. Like I might lose my mind soon.
Yeah, but you told us last time you were on, there's a difference between your work sex and like personal life sex, right?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We want to go back to the cams.
Okay.
So lately, there's a lot of people that have been laid off, of course, a lot of people without jobs, and a lot of people that don't get the support that a lot of Canadians do. So you have all these rookies setting up webcams and opening up OnlyFans pages.
Yeah.
Do you think that is going to affect your industry at all?
I don't really think so. I mean, the more fresh meat, the better, especially for me, I guess.
So you don't see them as competition?
No, it just like gives us more variety to work with, and like if more and more people are becoming comfortable with it, I guess that's a good thing.
Well, and I would imagine at least you pros, you know the angles and the moves better than someone like me who's on the verge of opening an OnlyFans. But it's also what the consumer wants, right? Because you look at Pornhub or any porn site, and there's the whole, DIY videos and then the professional stuff. So it's whatever you want to see, I guess.
Yeah, and a lot of people seem to like amateur as well and self-made kind of stuff, like POV and all that. So
do you have like the full setup at home?
Yeah, like I have a ring light, I've got tripods, an HD webcam, a brand new MacBook, like a whole cupboard full of toys of everything that you can imagine.
So are you going to get production credit then?
Yeah. Yeah.
A raise, yeah.
Really like helping like work with us too, like on filming certain things, and they kind of have a few ideas for projects that we can do, like to professionally record ourselves doing different things. So we'll see how it all works out.
Cory, we just had a guest named Wicked Wanda's on the show. She's a owner of a sex shop here in Ottawa. Maybe you know her. But she's talking about a new toy called the Auto Blow 2. Have you used this?
I have an automatic stroker. Is that like kind of the same thing?
I guess. I don't know. You tell me. You're the expert.
I've never heard of that particular one, but I mean, FleshJack makes one too, where you just like hold it and it does all the work for you, basically.
Oh, that's just lazy boys.
But you can like adjust it like different, strengths and motions and everything. So
right.
Fun.
This one that he was talking about actually took like it was artificial intelligence. So it like took data from, what was it, like 150 different blowjobs.
109.
Oh wow,
109.
That's insane. That's some technology right there.
No, I know it is insane, and that's kind of interesting because as someone who's used to doing partner work all the time, now you're having to go solo. It's kind of nice to have these technologies and tools, I guess, to help you out.
Yeah, I'm constantly shopping for new ones too, so.
But to go, which one, I don't know, well, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer doing a solo movie or one with a partner or more than one partner?
Oh, definitely with a partner. It's so much more fun, and it's, it keeps you in the mood and focused on someone else at the same time and all that, or multiple partners, that's fun too.
Last time we talked to you, you mentioned a lot that, it is still a movie. So there are times where you'll have to pause and hold a pose and you're like, okay, so at least now you're going to go uninterrupted.
Yeah, that's true. I can kind of do it however I want, basically.
And like, you don't have to share the spotlight with anyone. That'd be nice too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it, Jenna?
Full creative control.
Well, I know Cocky Boys. I mean, I've heard of them, but they do a good job of everyone's good looking, and you guys are all sort of similar types. Cocky Boys has a certain type on their roster, but
Yeah.
have you ever done a scene with somebody that you thought was like so much better looking than you, and like you weren't even in the same league, and then you felt nervous, like you wouldn't be able to compare?
Times. Especially when you meet like your porn crushes, even though you do porn yourself. Like Ashton Summers was one that was like, oh my God. But yeah.
And then did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, because like he ended up being a total sweetheart, and we had a sleepover the night before and got to like do a little preview kind of thing before the scene. So
a rehearsal.
It makes it a lot easier and smoother.
Well, have you ever developed real life feelings for a scene partner?
Oh yeah, I always get a crush all the time.
What do you do?
Well, after a while, you just kind of know like that everybody lives in different parts of the country, or all over North America. So it's kind of hard that way, unless you want to marry an American or something.
And who wants to do that right now? Let's be honest.
Yeah, right now.
But it kind of reminds me of like your summer camp crush. You go away to summer camp for like 2 weeks. You have this like budding romance with someone there, but then they go home and you go home, and maybe you write letters back and forth for a bit, but then it's over.
I mean, there's still sexting and all that afterwards anytime, but yeah.
Now, how about you and the other artists within Cocky Boys? Have you guys been like keeping in touch and, I don't know, maybe even virtually having some fun with each other?
Well, I haven't actually done any like virtual sex other than like fans asking to Skype and stuff like that. But I mean, all of us like text and keep in touch, and we even had like a couple conference calls where we all were on the call, like all the models and the owners and everything, to try to talk business and how to go forward and all that. So we're keeping in touch. And the boss is sorry.
How did everyone feel in that meeting about the future and this quarantine and COVID?
I think we all just kind of know, like right now, we don't really know. Nobody knows what's going to happen or going on. So just have to work with what we have.
Like any industry, really,
Yeah.
What about, you said something about, the fans and the Skype. Do you charge them? Do you have an OnlyFans?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've got OnlyFans and a Just for Fans, and some fans will ask me like if they can like send me money to do a personal show for like 20 minutes, half an hour. So those are fun to do too.
Good to know. And I know he gets those requests, Jenna, because when we were setting up this interview, I had to wait like 4 days between replies because he gets that many DMs. I kept getting lost. And I was like, I'm not a pervert, Cory. And I was like, I'm just going to text you, okay? Like,
I know.
but you must get a lot of creepy deekies. Just, you got to filter them out.
I get a lot of DMs, so there's like certain days like I'm literally so bored, but there's some days where I'm just like, I can't even look at them right now because everybody's home, everybody's horny right now. Like, there's just too many.
Yeah.
But
So you've noticed an increase in business.
yeah, I think a lot of people have. The campsites have even said like they've seen like skyrocket in traffic for all them too. So
Well, it's like anything, and I think of stand-up comedy because that's what I do, is all of a sudden I've seen statuses from people being like, when this is over, I'm going to, check that off my bucket list and I'm going to do stand-up. And so some people are like, oh, God, there's going to be all this competition. I'm not worried about that because I feel like the people who are actually good at it will shine through. And I imagine it's the same in porn.
yeah, totally.
Everyone's a porn star when the lights are out.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the lights being out, I told a friend that you were coming on this podcast, and they were like, ask him if he ever gets performance anxiety. And that seems like such an obvious question. But I think of myself and like, when I've been on dates, even if it's pitch black and there's no cameras and it's one other guy, sometimes I'll still get performance anxiety. So I could imagine when there's a team of people and cameras. How did you overcome that?
I think that happens with everybody. like it usually with Cocky Boys it's nice because we only have like either one or maybe two people filming at all times. Like it's not like a huge crew. But I think for me, like if it's just been like nervous, if it's somebody that I've had a crush on for a long time, like that's pretty much the only time. But then like you get to know them, and like once their dick's in your mouth, like everything's pretty much chill after that.
You just have to, okay, cut for a minute. Let's fluff a little.
Yeah.
Let's get in the zone. Pop a Viagra. Okay.
In your personal life, does sex ever make you nervous? Because for one hand, it's your job.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like when you meet someone on a date and you like actually develop feelings, and then for the first, do you ever get nervous?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're really hot, yeah. Because I can still be shy too. Like I guess I have a little more confidence now, like that I've done so many scenes, but still.
Do you think people expect different from you? That you're not going to be shy and you're going to be wild and crazy and just ready to, blowjob before appetizer?
Yeah. A lot of people kind of expect me to be like overly sexual and like I am in general anyways. I don't hide it. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty open about everything. So
Like I mentioned, the Twitter. So speaking of your personal dating life, though, have you ever found that you've kind of lost interest in dating personally because you get laid so much at work?
I think I'd have sex usually so often anyways that I just don't really fall into the relationship thing so much. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. He's a regular Blanche Devereaux, Jenna.
Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself settling down?
Yeah, I definitely could. Like if I met the right guy, but like most guys annoy me in some way. And
Me too.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of like fuck buddies that like I honestly get along with. Like we could hang out as friends or we could have fun at the same time. Like it's very chill that way. So I guess I don't know, maybe one day one of those people might become something, but
Have you been tempted to break quarantine? Sorry, because I know you're in Montreal and shit's pretty real in Montreal.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's a hotbed and it's just, yeah. But have you been tempted to sneak out?
Very, very much, but I haven't.
No.
Like I will be open grinder right now. It's just like, and I've been asked by people that live here too. They'll DM me and say like, "Hey, do you want to come over?" I'm like, "No."
Right. Have you gotten creative at all? Like I know a certain person that Jesse was talking to wanted to go to a window and watch.
I've actually been like fantasizing about that. I would walk up to someone's window and do that. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tonight. That's why I'm wearing a nice shirt. I'm going to do it tonight because I feel like then, when we look back on this coronavirus pandemic, I'll be able to say, you know what I did, kids? I had a guy come on my window because we couldn't hook up.
I had a guy DM me and ask me if I would go meet him at the park near his house and we would just like social distance and jerk off together. That was an option one time. I didn't do it, but
And it had to be in a park.
Well, I like that though. It's hot.
Okay.
No wonder they're closed.
Like at night when no one's around.
Okay.
This is why they're closed. I feel like that's too tempting, though. You wouldn't just stay 6 feet apart jerking it. You'd get all excited, and you would.
Yeah, I know. It'd be too tempting. This is why
Yeah.
I just like, I'm trying to be a good boy.
I think you have the right idea with dating. We need to take a note from you. Just have a few different boyfriends, one for every night of the week. I like that.
There haven't been too many that have gotten that clingy, so I mean, it's worked out.
Have you had any other really odd requests during quarantine? Ones that you're like, whoa, that's a first.
Well, the guy that wanted to, there's another reason why I didn't go. He wanted me to like cream my underwear and like leave it there for him and things like that. And I don't know, it's whatever.
How much would that cost?
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm curious.
I usually charge $100 if someone wants my like used underwear.
Oh, you could charge more. I think you're really underestimating yourself. If someone wants it that bad, I think you could at least charge $1,000.
Maybe, I don't know.
Try it.
Well, no, and especially if it's like, a Andrew Christian underwear or something expensive.
Yeah. I've got a lot of underwear, so I could do it a lot of times.
Jenna's right. You should get Jenna as your publicist because you are undervaluing, especially being a cocky boy. Come on.
Yeah.
I could probably get more than 100, and I'm not even on a fucking. Just leave me with that lie, Jenna.
That's what the women did on Orange is the New Black. They sold their used panties, and that's how they made money.
Yeah. It's a way. It's a way.
Right?
So when
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
Like mine. That's not tea in Jenna's cup either. When we talk about, you mentioned like, maybe one day you'll settle down. It made me think of your retirement, or lack of a better term, because cocky boys, there will come a day where you age out of their cast. Right. Girl, trust me, I got doctors I can give you. But your body will change. You'll become more manly, and you'll look like you're not a little cute boy anymore. And then, so what are you going to do? Are you going to go to Falcon? Are you going to look at another production house, or will you hang it up?
Honestly, I get anxiety thinking about it sometimes because I know it's not going to last forever. But then I see they have Carter Dane and Alex Meekum that work with Cocky Boys still, and they're older, big, muscular guys. So they try to keep variety, but I would definitely go to another studio. Men.com is based in Montreal. They, are pretty. I know some of the people that work with them, so that's always an option too. So, or Falcon, that'd be nice, but
Yeah, well, there's American. What did you say? It cut out.
I'm not in Corrigan yet or anything.
Not yet. But you know what? You do have a career and you have a following. So I think if you play your cards right, you could probably, graduate to another production house, hopefully.
Yeah, at least porn keeps you, you have to be mindful of your body and diet and workout and all that. So it keeps you at least focused to maintain and keep going.
Aren't you sick of that though? Speaking of quarantine, both Jenna and I have gained the quarantine 15, and we've been working out at home. It's not the same as going to the gym.
I hate working out at home. I just hate it. I've got an exercise ball that I do abs on, and I do some push-ups, and I just bought some resistant bands, so they're working pretty well. But,
didn't even know what they were called.
It's almost like you have to do the prison workout, where you do a million push-ups a day.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, hope for the best. Just walk around your apartment in circles.
I've even been going on 10 to 14K hikes whenever it's been a nice day out. So just alone and just walking forever, but.
Oh, we know you like to trollop in the woods with your big stick.
The leaves aren't out yet, so I can't do anything.
Oh, because you're not hidden.
Yeah, everything's open.
Is there anything that you would refuse to do in a movie? Or vice versa? Is there anything you would do at work that you wouldn't do in your personal life, or vice versa?
I don't think I would never let myself get fisted. I don't think that's something I would do.
Me neither.
I would do it if somebody asked, but it's just not my thing. And I'm not really a big foot person either.
Jenna.
Very ticklish.
I hate feet too. I'm not a foot person either.
Yeah.
Cory, poor Jenna's been dealing with a guy that wants her feet, and she's just not having it.
No.
Oh my God, I didn't expect you to go with the fisting. I'm with you. I thought you were gonna say something stupid like, I don't know.
Like kissing a girl?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he would do that. Money talks. As long as you don't have to get hard, right?
Yeah.
Before we move on, just when you were talking about feet, you know what I saw the other day on Instagram, and this just goes to show to the extent that these celebrities are going to these days, is Black China has an OnlyFans page of her feet now.
Really? Oh my God. Well, the feet people are actually the ones that pay the most for fan stuff.
So that's for reals. If someone slides into your DMs and is like, I'll give you $500 to send me a picture of your feet.
Yep, 100%.
So you would do that. That's fine. You just don't want someone sucking on your toes.
Yeah. I go soft immediately, and I'm ticklish as hell, so.
Well, it's one of those things where it's if you want to suck on my toes or tickle my feet, okay, but I'm not doing it to you.
Yeah, where have they been? I don't know.
Well, or it's like water sports. That's a big one too. And it's like some guys are like, I don't mind. I would never let a guy pee on me. If a guy I really liked like begged me to do it, then maybe I would do it to him. But it's like, then I wouldn't really like you if you're into that.
Yeah. I've had people request that like in my private life, and I've peed on them, but it's not. I don't know. It's more of a dominating thing, I guess, or that's how I think about it. But
Like a dog.
I would think so. I mean, that's what would make me feel bad about it, is I feel bad doing it.
yeah.
Even though the person clearly would want it, I'd still feel
Just
horrible
feel
doing
guilty.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my first thing on the menu, that's for sure.
While you're doing it, you're thinking, when's the last time I ate asparagus?
Yeah.
You know.
Did I drink enough water?
Do you think that solo work is now going to be the new norm for the adult movie industry? It was already huge. Like, I have to say, solo work has been, especially with females, for, like, I know in heteros, like, I don't know about the gay world, but like cam work is massive. A lot of women do it. I mean, what Steven Spielberg's adopted daughter was doing it.
Right.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. She started her OnlyFans page and was talking about how she does solo work. Do you think that could be the future more so because of this COVID? Because they're saying it's going to be a long time.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be like a vaccine or something come up like eventually, but for now, yeah, it's going to have to stay that way unless they start easing restrictions or whatever. Like, I watch the news every day, probably too much, but for now, yeah, I guess that's all we can do.
Or maybe it'll become like couples, like you'll get to pair up with one person and we'll just see a whole bunch of videos from, you know,
if they've
couples.
been quarantining for a while and you have two kind of thing, yeah.
Instead of circle jerks, it's Zoom jerks now.
Yeah. Glory holes might have a comeback. Who knows?
Right? I mean, that's the thing. I think, honestly, in any industry right now, anyone is thinking, okay, because whenever there's anything horrible that goes on, there's always an opportunity to evolve and make more money. So I think everyone right now, just like the porn industry, is kind of reinventing themselves to see what they can do to get through this. You guys have obviously talked about a lot of cam work and lives and stuff. Anything else that you guys are going to be doing that, you know, is kind of new and hasn't really been done much?
Cocky Boys is thinking of doing like our own personally recorded things, like as a mini docker, or a little, you know, scene that we do ourselves from home and kind of directed ourselves and things. They're kind of toying with that idea. And I've noticed they're re-releasing their older like full feature films that they did like back in the day that nobody's really seen, or they've been like pushed way back in the website.
The ones that were on VHS and never made it.
Yeah. Some of the old stars that are now like not even active anymore, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Cory, how big's your dick?
How big is it? 8.5, I think.
Look, Jenna's not fake. I was trying to give a good reaction, but we both follow you on Twitter, so we've seen it.
I actually have to apologize. I had to unfollow you because I always am on my Twitter at work. And like, you know, I don't know when someone would walk in, and like, even if my feed was up and I wasn't even looking, what they would see. So I was like, shit, I gotta hide this.
Yeah. I'm so jaded now because I'm like always on there and it's always open. If I'm like in normal times, like on the subway or something, and I just open it up and forget like other people are around me and can look at my phone, like this is bad.
Could be good advertising. Who knows?
Yeah. True.
Yeah. What is the biggest group scene you've ever done?
Look,
He's got to get both hands out to count.
Yeah, I've actually never done like a group yet. I always wanted to do like an orgy scene, but a threesome a couple times is all I've really done. I had like a giant orgy with all the Cocky Boys like at a pool party one time, but that wasn't filmed.
Why not?
I know, it was like really late after the party and we were all hammered and having fun, but
does everyone get a certain amount of time with everyone else? Like, I would just find it would be so hard to pay attention to everybody equally.
Yeah, no, I think we all kind of partnered up, or like one person had a dick in the mouth and in the ass, you know, it was all over. It just happened like randomly out of nowhere. Everybody just in. It was fun.
I play like a random game of crib when I'm drinking with my friends. Like,
And here I'm on the fence about whether letting a guy come to my window or not. Never mind 20 in a fucking pool. Jesus Christ. Sorry I asked.
Try it sometime.
I will. I'll wait for your invitation. So, Cory, what is the most awkward thing that's ever happened to you on set? Did anyone like fart in your face or anything disgusting like that?
I've only came too fast once. It was like in the beginning. That was embarrassing, but like the bottom just got off and was like, "No, I take it as a compliment," and so that was. But
well, and people like that. There's a whole section on Pornhub for premature ejaculation or like, accidental cum shots. So if they were rolling, you're probably on there.
Yeah. Other than like,
bloopers?
Do
you guys have bloopers?
So, yeah, probably. I think they should release those. That would be funny.
Well, I think it gives it like a bit more of a. I know this sounds so weird because it doesn't get more human than people having sex, but it gives it like a more human side. That at the end of the day, y'all are still professionals, and I think
behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
I feel like you were going to give me another embarrassing moment.
Oh, just like a very common one is like, we all try to be clean going in, and sometimes people aren't. So that can be embarrassing for you or the other person. It's usually not like horrifying or anything. It's just because everybody still cleans, but yeah.
Well, it's like in real life too, you do your best effort, but it sure does. What else? Okay. I'm still on that pool scene. Have you ever caught somebody, especially right now, or well, maybe not especially right now, but have you ever been like at the grocery store normal times and you caught like a dad staring at you a little too hard, like he knew who you were and you knew you knew who he was, but he wouldn't say anything because he's, with his kids and wife?
It's happened a couple times in the village, but not that I've really noticed in like a grocery store, like shopping, but I usually I'm very like in my own head when I'm in public places, so I barely even notice anyways, but
okay.
I have had a guy that like was in the sex shop here and like he kept staring at me for a really long time, and I was like just minding my own business, like looking at the dildos, and then I went upstairs. It's like has 2 floors, and I went upstairs and he came up the other stairs, and I was like walking and he came like right by me and kept like giving me this glare, just watch. He wouldn't say a word and he just wouldn't stop staring. It was really awkward. That's probably the only like really awkward one.
Oh my gosh. With sex toys and everyone being at home, what are your favorite sex toys to use with yourself?
Definitely the flesh jacks. They have like an ass one, but they also have like a blowjob one, so it actually.
Now wait a minute. I have a fleshlight. How is the flesh jack different than the fleshlight?
I think it's the same company, the same thing.
Oh.
Like I think Fleshlight is like the female brand. I don't know.
Mine's a bum. I know that.
It's bum, yeah. Okay.
But okay.
Or is it just really puckered lips?
I could go get it if you want. I'd be curious to see. I mean, they must make the insides different, but I wonder if anybody would really notice. Like, is there any guys out there that use it so much? Or like, this is the lips, this is the ass.
I don't think they wear out too easily, but yeah, like they've got some good suction. I've got a blowjob one too, so it like makes the suction sounds really realistically.
Some guys love that. Jenna, have you ever been doing that? Have you ever been given a BJ and the guy is like, make it louder?
Oh my God, straight guys are always about that.
Are they?
Oh my God, they are. They're all about they're like slobber and gross, gag, and I don't know. Straight guys are weird.
I like a lot of gay guys like to try to deep throat, and a lot of guys love to be deep throated, but for me, it's all about the head.
Because yours is so big. First of all, no one's deep throating you. Sorry, but also. Because I find guys. Have done
well.
What?
A couple of people have done it really well, but very, very few.
Well, I find that with guys that are bigger, I find it is more all about the head, like for them. So it's just a long worm of nothing, and then all the actions at the top.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What's the biggest misconception people have about porn stars?
I think the most typical one is that we're all drug addicts and we're all, just sluts.
Broken souls.
Yeah. Came from a really bad background, things like that.
Well, how did you get into it then? Because you're right. I'm even guilty. You ever see the movie 13? Either of you?
Yeah.
That's how with Evie, and I picture it starting that way. Like everyone's so innocent and cute, and then one day you get sucked into this world of like sex and crime.
Yeah.
Like that?
I mean, I'm sure there's been people that have gone down that road kind of thing, but like for me, I was in a relationship for my like first and only boyfriend for like over 5 years, and I was always doing like the corporate jobs, and I went back to university and everything like that. So once we finally broke up, I hadn't like had fun or been single on whatever, and I was back in school and like super over it, and just wanted to just try it while I was still young, and just I'd followed Cocky Boys on Twitter and everything like that, so it's kind of admiring them and just applied to them, and boom.
Boom.
You shot your shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. Well, it's like it seems to be the fate of every gay, like, aspiring actor. So good to know. Send me the audition link.
Yeah.
No,
You're too old now.
I know. I was just thinking that. I'm way too old. I'm at the in between. I don't know which studio I would apply to. I wouldn't do that. I would open an OnlyFans. Fuck everyone.
Yeah. Keep it all for yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
50 cents a day, baby. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something, Jenna. I'm trying to think. I have a whole list, but I've been jumping around. Do you what kind of career would you have if it weren't for porn?
Well, I took advertising and marketing in college and actually finished that. So I guess that comes in handy in a different way now. But I also always wanted to be a writer. I still try to write from time to time, but.
Hey.
Erotic novels?
Yeah.
Thought of that. I've actually written a novel like a couple of years ago. It just really needs to be edited and add stuff and everything, but it's got a lot of that and it's racy.
Because you should really think about Joan Rivers or Lisa Rinna or any of these people that build on their empire and start the jewelry line, and you need to have multiple streams of income. And you have this Cory Kane brand now.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a Cory Kane dildo?
I've been waiting. I'm just waiting for Flush Jack to. I've been told I'm on the list. I don't know.
I wonder how you make said list. Do you have to be a certain size, or do you just have to be popular?
I think it's just popularity. Like Jake Bass has one, and his dick isn't that big. It's like, but he's beautiful, and he's got a beautiful ass and a nice dick. But
you know what? As much as who doesn't love a big dick? But in my old age, as Jenna pointed out, I'm not against small ones, especially if you're gonna bottom. They're easier to take, and they're easier to suck too. It's like you just feel more accomplished.
Oh yeah, I like every shape and size. As long as it's pretty, that's all I ask, is that it's a pretty penis.
Oh, and you know what? There's some ugly ones out there. Jesse and I were watching this show called Naked Attraction on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yes.
Man, there's some ugly ones. I was like, they don't all look like this. Like, no. I mean, I guess I got to pay more attention.
And they're never like fully hard, so they kind of look even weirder, but yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them aren't cut either. So
yeah, they're all British.
It's big in the UK, but that show has really shown me how much value I put on faces, because sometimes we're watching it and I'm like, gross, 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 gross. And then they show the face and I'm like, okay. Yeah, it changes things.
I've noticed that too. I definitely have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of what's on TV, what are you watching on Netflix right now?
Oh my God. I think I've gone through it all at this point.
Right.
I just watched, I just binged Imposters for 2 days. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I've seen it. It's really good.
That was really good. Dead to Me came out last summer, and season 2 is coming on May 8th, and I can't fucking wait for it. It's such a good show. But
there's a show that just came out. This is coming out on Monday, so it came out on Friday. I haven't watched it yet. Called Hollywood. It's a Ryan Murphy one.
Yes, I want to see that. Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, there's the one that's really popular right now called Too Hot to Handle, where a bunch of hot people go and they're not allowed to have sex. And if they do, they lose money. Do you think
Yeah.
you could do that show?
That would be very difficult for me, but I definitely want to watch it.
If there was 100 G's on the line, you'd be like, maybe I could sit on my own hands.
I mean, I could jerk off from afar, like.
If you were to make like a reality show for porn stars, what would like the premise be? Because we've got all these shows now, like Love Island and Not Too Hot to Handle, Blind Dating, or whatever the hell it's called.
Love is Blind.
I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. If they did like a naked Big Brother kind of thing, where they all have to just stay naked, and then I don't know.
Right, but then you know what happens? It's because I used to watch this show called Naked and Afraid. Have you seen that? It's like Survivor, but they drop people naked.
Oh, really?
And so people are naked in the wilderness and have to like survive together and stuff. But after the first episode, I stopped even realizing they were naked because it was just so normal that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy's ass is hanging out and his balls are sagging to his knees.
You're just not fazed by it after a while.
Exactly. So it would be hard to have a naked show now where you could keep that excitement going.
True. There's not many out there though, so I don't know. It might be fun.
Right.
Or like dating the porn star where it's like The Bachelor, but it's with.
Right. Or like The Apprentice style where you guys all come up with different business ideas.
Yeah.
All sex toys.
Yeah. That's
You know what? That dating a porn star, you should pitch that to Out TV or something, because that would really work for gays, because for some reason gay men revere porn stars. You guys are like goddesses, and in the straight world, I find that's not the case, is it, Jenna? Like, you girls aren't obsessed with male porn stars, right?
I couldn't even name you one that you know these days, like one now. The only ones I could name is like Ron Jeremy, because it was just someone you always heard about back in the day.
That's
but
the only straight one I know too. I should know more straight ones, but I don't.
Right, but you don't like. I don't know. There's just not in my opinion, there's not a huge market for straight male actors. Like,
they don't get
adult
paid that
actors.
much either, so there's probably a lot of them.
Most porns don't even show their face.
Yeah, which I hate. I hate
Right. It's all female centered.
that.
You know, the heterosexual, I find. I've always said this about the like straight porn is I find it's very like female focused and like, but not in the way that females want to always see it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's female focused, but tailored to men, which is so
there
weird.
is one studio, I forget the name of it, which sucks, but they actually focus more on the men than the women.
Okay.
It's geared towards like gay men or bi men, but it's like it's focused on the guy rather than the girl kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. It's just I find straight porn to be a really weird world.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a giant contradiction.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
Very true.
Maybe we'll see more like that studio that Cory just mentioned, because women are embracing porn and like admitting that they watch it now. Like, I remember when we were in high school, girls were like, no, girls never watch porn. Girls don't masturbate.
We don't
And then you reach a certain
masturbate.
age. Yeah. Where they're all like, yeah, we do.
I think that transition is happening, but with solo work. Instead of creating like female friendly empowered porn, which sounds so weird, they're just going to solo work because they don't want to be, you know, jizzed all over or used as, you know, whatever, used.
Women are just as nasty as men too. I mean, I have some
Oh yeah.
that are very open with me.
It's true. It's true. Women have very strong sexual drives.
Yeah.
You know, we were thinking of porn stars, like famous ones. Is there any famous lesbian porn stars? I mean, that's as far away from what I watch as you could get, but like, I'm trying to think.
No, I know there's a lot of bi ones, or like they say they're bi, but
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, like even look at Jenna Jameson.
That's the first one I thought.
Right. When she got married, she switched to women only.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I think I watched a special on her like a long time ago, and that's kind of where she said because her husband, while he didn't care, she did it out of respect, or like she had some weird rules. She wouldn't do certain things with men, mostly women. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you would know, Jenna. That's who you were named after. So when you talk about not showing your face and stuff, you made me think, what happens if somebody comes to a shoot looking all jacked up? Like on a talk show, look at Jenna's face. You're wondering where I'm going with this question, but like on a talk show or something, you pound the makeup on and you have beautiful lights like I have right now and everything looks fine, but you guys are moving in every angle. Like there's not a whole lot of room for a lot of makeup and lighting. So has that ever happened where you or someone else, they had to like postpone a shoot because somebody looked too hungover or like awful?
No, never like anybody that's gone too hard. I mean, I've been severely hungover before in a scene, and they just put a little makeup on and I was fine. I'm usually hornier when I'm hungover too, so it kind of works out.
What is that? We talk about that all the time on the podcast, the hangover horny.
It happens. It's true. It's a real thing.
They also say that sex, like orgasming, is one of the best cures for a hangover.
Oh, there could be science behind that too.
Right.
Such a tease because you look awful. Speaking of looking like shit, when you're hungover, puffy, red, at least I do. And it's like, so this is when you wish you had a roster of fuck buddies like Cory does, so you could just boop, boop, boop. Yeah, and I get it so bad that I've Googled this, and the Wikipedia term is hangover horny, but science has not been able to prove it. The best guess science has is that it's your subconscious way of trying to feel better because you feel terrible with your hangover. So your body's like, have sex, that's fun, that'll make me feel better, endorphins. But yeah, it's crazy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Do you get it, Jenna?
Do I? Yeah, I'm sure I do. I don't know. I'm hungover all the time now, so like.
Me both, girl. You and me both.
Right? I just like don't even know what feelings I'm feeling anymore under quarantine.
Yeah. I'm so bored. I'm bored of being bored.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, at least you get to have some work on camera now, and you can keep yourself busy. And it sounds like you're interacting with fans, which is always great.
Yeah.
So to keep you company.
If people want to watch those live streams, how can they do that?
You can go to cockycams.com, or like it's like connected with Flirt for Free, but they just have their own like website, so you easily find it. Or if you're a Cocky Boys member, you can log in and find it right there.
And I'm sure we can find it on your Twitter too.
Yeah. We're always tweeting it when we go live and stuff. So I'm going live this Sunday. I think it's at 5 or 6. I forget. They're gonna have to tell me, but yeah.
I believe it's 5 because that's when we were going to do this, and you said you couldn't. So there you go. I got you. Yeah. You just made me think of Rebecca Moore. Do you know who Rebecca Moore is?
Yes. Oh my God.
She is a famous female porn star, and all the gays are obsessed with her. She's almost more like a Real Housewife.
It's that video, like it's Sunday, it's a day of rest, but not for me, and she's getting fucked out the window. It's like it's just funny.
She, Jenna, I'll send you her Twitter. More MILF is her, and she's in the UK, so she's got an accent, and she's just so funny, but a slut. And I think all the gays want to be her.
Is it like that cheesy porn?
Yeah, we can relate.
That cheesy porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she'll do things like, oh, I'm gonna seduce my Uber driver, and then he comes to the door, and she's like, it's just fun stuff. But then he falls for it. Of course he does.
I love it. I've also always wanted to do that.
The cab thing?
Yeah. Like when it's a sexy Uber driver, yeah. Or like give him $20 and just let me record it for my OnlyFans and say, "Oop, the Uber driver caught me," kind of thing.
Oh. I'm getting a little like public thing going on with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Exhibitionist all the way.
Yes, thank you. That was the word I was looking
Imagine that from a porn actor. But you know what? Have you ever had it with a hot Uber or something where you're like, you kind of wish you could be like, do you know who I am? If he's gay, because he probably does know who you are. And then he would sleep with you. But you also don't want to use that cringy line.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. But there have been a couple times where they've been like cute and I got a gay vibe, but I don't know. I wish.
Right. Well, it'll happen. You're still young.
Yeah. Maybe this year.
Right.
All right. Well, Cory Kane, thanks for chatting. We can find you on Twitter, the Cory Kane, right?
Instagram is the Cory Kane. Twitter is Cory Kane XXX.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And it is XXX.
Yeah.
Never change, Cory. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And wash your dick, too. Why not? And we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
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 Cheers from the dog.